The church was packed, every seat was taken. The air buzzed with quiet whispers, anticipation, and excitement. Flowers lined the aisle, and soft sunlight filtered through stained glass windows, painting colorful patterns on the marble floor. The day was perfect, at least that's what everyone thought. Lara stood just inside the wooden door, her heart pounding so loudly she feared everyone could hear it. Her white dress shimmered under the light, the delicate lace hugging her slender frame. Her hands trembled as she clutched the bouquet, roses, lilies, and a splash of wildflowers. The moment was supposed to be hers. Years of waiting, dreaming, and planning had led to this. But something deep inside told her this day would not. And like she imagined, the doors at the other end opened, and a murmur rippled through the crowd. All eyes turned toward the groom, Daniel. Tall, handsome, and polished in a black tuxedo, he stepped forward with a smile so wide it seemed rehearsed. Yet his eyes darted nervously around the church. Lara took a shaky breath and began to walk down the aisle. Step by step, the world seemed to slow. Her father's hand on her arm was steady, but her own legs felt weak, as if they might give out at any second. Halfway down, a sudden chill swept through the church. The stained glass colors darkened as a cloud passed over the sun. A hush fell. Over the guests, Daniel's smile faltered. He looked away, glancing at the doors behind Lara, then back to the altar. A whisper traveled through the rows. "Is everything okay?" Lara's heart froze. What was happening? Suddenly, Daniel's voice broke the silence, clear, loud, and shaking. "I can't do this," gasps erupted, heads turned. The priest stopped mid-chant, eyes wide with shock. Lara froze in place, the bouquet slipping from her fingers. Her knees threatened to buckle. "No," she whispered, barely able to breathe. "Please don't do this now." But Daniel's eyes were cold, distant. "I'm sorry, Lara. I can't marry you. Not today, not ever." Whispers turned to murmurs, murmurs to stunned silence. Some guests began to cry, others whispered frantic questions. Lara's world shattered. She wanted to run, to scream, to vanish. Instead, tears streamed down her face as she was guided back to the pew, stunned and numb. Hours later, Lara sat alone in the empty church, the echoes of her shattered dream ringing louder than the footsteps outside. Her phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. "Meet me at the edge, 8 p.m. You need to see this." She stared at the screen, confusion and curiosity wrestling inside her. Who would send this? Why now? That night, at a small downtown bar, called The Edge, Lara arrived, her heart still bruised but a spark of hope flickering. A man stepped out from the shadows, a stranger, sharply dressed, with eyes that seemed to see through her pain. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said quietly. "But what happened today? It's only the beginning." Lara's breath caught. "Who are you?" The man smiled, handing her a small velvet box. "Open it." Hands trembling, she lifted the lid. Inside lay a ring, simple yet radiant, with a single diamond sparkling like a star. "This isn't just any ring," the man said. "It belongs to someone very powerful, someone who wants to meet you." Lara looked up, confusion mixed with a strange hope. "Why me?" she whispered. The man's eyes glinted. "Because your story is far from over, and you are about to change everything." Lara's fingers trembled as she held the diamond ring in her palm, the weight of it heavier than she had imagined. The stranger's words echoed in her mind. "Your story is far from over." But how? Why her? She felt fragile, broken, yet something inside her stirred, a flicker of curiosity and defiance. "Who sent you?" Lara asked again, her voice barely above a whisper. The man shifted his gaze, eyes sharp but kind. "Let's just say I'm a friend. My name is Nathan." Lara nodded slowly, unsure whether to trust him or run away as fast as she could. Nathan pulled out a small envelope and handed it to her. Inside is an invitation. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., come alone, no one else. The envelope was heavy, embossed with a golden seal, an unfamiliar emblem of two intertwined rings, with a crown above. Lara felt a surge of adrenaline and fear. "Where?" Nathan's lips curled into a faint smile. "You'll find out when you get there." Before she could ask more, Nathan stepped back into the shadows, leaving her alone in the dim bar. The night passed in a blur. Lara barely slept, the ring resting on her bedside table like a mysterious challenge. Her mind raced with questions, memories of the rejection at the altar mixing with this new, strange opportunity. At dawn, she dressed carefully, slipping the ring into her pocket, unsure if it was a blessing or a curse. The address in the envelope led her to a grand mansion on the outskirts of the city, hidden behind tall gates and thick hedges. The building looked like something out of a fairy tale, massive pillars, marble steps, and shining windows. A butler opened the door before she could even knock. His face was expressionless but polite. "Miss Lara, please follow me," he said, leading her inside. The interior was as luxurious as the outside, sparkling chandeliers, polished floors, and paintings of people Lara didn't recognize. They stopped in front of a large wooden door. The butler knocked twice and opened it slowly. Inside stood a man, older, with silver hair and piercing blue eyes. He wore a tailored suit and a faint smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Welcome. Lara, I am Henry. I have been waiting for you." Lara swallowed hard, feeling both terrified and drawn to the man's presence. "You must have many questions," Henry said calmly. "But first, let me explain why you received that ring." He paused, watching her carefully. "That ring belonged to my son, Michael. He was a billionaire, known to many but truly understood by few." Lara's breath caught. She had heard whispers of a wealthy man named Michael, a mysterious figure who lived far from the public eye. "Michael died 6 months ago," Henry continued softly. "His death left a void and a secret." Lara's heart pounded. "What secret?" Henry's eyes darkened. "Michael trusted me with something important, something he wanted you to have." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small leather-bound journal. "This is Michael's diary. It contains the truth about his life, his enemies, and the reason why he left this ring for you." Lara's fingers trembled as she took the diary. "Why me?" she whispered. Henry sighed deeply. "Because, Lara, Michael saw something in you, a strength, a kindness. He believed you could help uncover what he couldn't." Lara's mind reeled. She had just been rejected at the altar, her world turned upside down. Now she was holding a billionaire's diary, caught in a mystery she never expected. Back at her small apartment, Lara opened the diary carefully. The pages were filled with neat handwriting, sketches, and cryptic notes. She read the first entry. "To whoever finds this, know that my life was not as perfect as it seemed. Behind the wealth and fame were enemies, lies, and a truth that could destroy many. If you are reading this, it means I trusted you enough to carry this burden. Be careful. Trust no one." A chill ran down Lara's spine. What had Michael been involved in? And why had he chosen her to continue his story? The days that followed were filled with strange phone calls, shadows outside her window, and a growing sense of danger. One evening, Lara found a note slipped under her door. "They are watching. Don't trust anyone but yourself." Fear gripped her, but she refused to run. Instead, she felt a rising courage, a determination to find out the truth, no matter the cost. As Lara delved deeper into Michael's diary, she uncovered names, places, and dates that pointed to a powerful network, people who would stop at nothing to keep their secrets safe. She decided to meet with Nathan again, hoping he could guide her through the maze of lies. At a quiet cafe, Nathan revealed more. Michael's death was no accident, Nathan said grimly. He was killed because he discovered something dangerous, something worth millions. Lara's hands clenched around her coffee cup. What was it? A secret project, Nathan replied. Illegal deals, hidden accounts, people involved who will do anything to keep the truth buried. Lara felt overwhelmed, but also more alive than ever. Why involve me? She asked. Nathan looked at her with respect. Because Michael believed you could survive this. Because you're stronger than you know. The deeper Lara went, the more perilous the journey became. One night, her apartment was broken into, but nothing was stolen. Just a warning. The next day, Lara received a call. A voice distorted and threatening. Stop digging, or you'll regret it. Instead of backing down, Lara's resolve hardened. She was no longer just a rejected bride. She was a woman fighting to uncover the truth and claim her place in a world far bigger than she had ever imagined. The morning sun barely broke through the thick curtains of Lara's apartment when her phone buzzed insistently. Groggy, she reached for it and saw an unknown number flashing. For a moment, panic fluttered inside her chest. Had the threats escalated overnight? She hesitated, then answered. A low, distorted voice spoke. You're closer than you think, Lara. But some truths are dangerous. Keep digging and you'll pay. The line went dead. Lara's hands shook. This was no idle threat. Someone wanted her to stop, but she couldn't. Not now. Not after everything. The diary lay open on her table, pages worn and heavy with secrets. Lara skimmed through the entries again, focusing on a particular passage Michael had written just weeks before his death. They watch from the shadows. Friends can be foes. Trust no one, especially those closest to you. Her mind raced. Was someone close to Michael involved in his murder? Or worse, watching her now, her phone rang again, this time a familiar voice. Nathan, she breathed, relief flooding her. He sounded tense. Lara, meet me at the old pier tonight. I have information that will change everything. The pier was miles from the city centre, a desolate place where old fishing boats rocked gently against cracked wooden docks. When Lara arrived, Nathan was already there, pacing nervously. I found something, he said, pulling a small USB drive from his pocket. Michael's last digital files. But there's a catch. Lara's heart quickened. These files, they contain names, dates, and transactions. They link powerful people to illegal activities. Michael was close to exposing them. Who? Lara asked, voice steady despite the fear. Nathan hesitated. People with influence, politicians, business leaders, people who will do anything to protect their secrets. Lara's thoughts flashed to Henry, the man who had first handed her the diary. Could he be involved? Nathan's eyes met hers. You need to be careful. If Henry is involved, you're in deeper trouble than you realize. That night, Lara lay awake, the weight of her choices pressing down. Trust was slipping through her fingers like sand. Every face, every word was suspect. Her phone lit up again, a text from an unknown number. Meet me at the old town library, midnight. Come alone. Curiosity warred with caution, but Lara's resolve was stronger than her fear. At midnight, she slipped out, heart pounding as she walked through empty streets to the library. The building was dark, silent, its heavy doors creaking as she pushed them open. Inside, a figure stepped from the shadows, a woman, mid-30s, sharp eyes, and a calm demeanor. I'm Elena, the woman said softly. I knew Michael. Lara's breath caught. Why meet me here? Why now? Eleanor's gaze was steady. Because you're in danger, and because Michael wanted you to have this. She handed Lara a small envelope. Inside were photographs. Michael with various people, including Henry, in secret meetings. Henry isn't just a grieving father, Elena said. He's hiding something, and if you want the truth, you'll need to confront him. The following days were a whirlwind. Lara confronted Henry, demanding answers. In his study, Henry's calm facade cracked. "Yes, I hid things," he admitted, "to protect my family and my legacy." He revealed a secret alliance, a deal Michael was involved in that spiraled out of control. "You must decide, Lara," Henry said quietly. "Will you help us expose the truth or walk away and live?" With the consequences, Lara's world shifted again. She wasn't just a rejected bride or a curious stranger anymore. She was part of a dangerous game, one where trust was scarce and betrayal lurked around every corner. Lara stood in the grand hall of Henry's mansion, the weight of the past weeks pressing down like a storm about to break. The diary, the ring, the threats. Everything led to this moment. Henry's confession echoed in her mind. "Will you help us expose the truth or walk away and live with the consequences?" Her fingers tightened around the diamond ring, once a symbol of a broken promise, now a beacon of hope and courage. The night was thick with tension. Lara sat across from Henry, Nathan, and Elena, forming an unlikely alliance. Michael's last. Files were on the table, encrypted codes, secret meetings, and transactions that traced a web of corruption reaching into the highest echelons of power. "The people involved won't go down without a fight," Nathan warned. "We have to be smart." Lara looked up, eyes fierce. "Then let's make sure they don't get the chance." Their first move was to contact a trusted investigative journalist, Sarah, known for exposing hidden scandals. After hours of tense negotiations, Sarah agreed to help. Together, they planned to release the evidence publicly, a live broadcast that would shake the nation. But as the day approached, danger closed in. Lara's phone buzzed relentlessly with threats. Her apartment was ransacked again, and shadows seemed to follow her every step. On the eve of the broadcast, Lara found herself standing alone on the rooftop of the mansion, staring out at the city lights. Her mind drifted to the day she was rejected at the altar, humiliation, heartbreak, and despair. Yet here she was, holding a billionaire's secret, standing on the edge of a new beginning. A soft voice broke her. "Thoughts! You're stronger than you realize." She turned to see Elena, her eyes full of understanding. "Michael believed in you," Elena said. "And so do we." The broadcast was set. Sarah went live, revealing the truth behind the corruption, the illegal deals, the betrayal, and Michael's untimely death. The nation watched in shock as names were exposed, alliances broken, and justice demanded. In the aftermath, Lara's life changed forever. She wasn't just the woman rejected at the altar. She was the woman who uncovered a secret that no one dared to speak about. Henry faced justice, choosing to cooperate to save what was left of his family's name. Nathan disappeared into the shadows, his mission complete. And Lara? She found strength she never knew she had. Months later, Lara stood in a quiet park, the diamond ring sparkling on her finger. Not as a symbol of loss, but of resilience and hope. A man approached, hands in pockets, smiling warmly. "Lara," he said softly, "there's someone who wants to meet you, someone who's been watching." Curiosity sparked again. "Who?" He smiled mysteriously. "That's a story for another time." Lara laughed, feeling alive, ready for whatever came next. The lesson life often throws us into the deepest shadows, where pain and rejection seem unbearable, but sometimes those moments lead us to unexpected paths, paths of courage, truth, and transformation. Lara's journey showed that even when the world turns its back, our strength can light the way, and sometimes a simple ring can carry the weight of 1 billion dreams, waiting for the right hand to wear it. The end.